Hang on a second. Hang on a second. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications because it helps me out a lot and it's very nice of you to do. Now it is Saturday, which means we're back with more Nightwish. We know how this works by now. I'm excited about this one because it's an official music video and there aren't that many music videos out there for Nightwish. You guys have also asked me to take a deeper look at some of the Annette songs. And you also let me know that she really shines in studio. So this is kind of a win-win. I get to hear the studio vocal on top of a nice, awesome video. And I'm really looking forward to it. So, Nightwish, Amaranth, official music video. Let's see what you got. Hang on just a second before we even get into the vocals. We're starting this all over again. What an awesome start to a song. See, they are so good at taking something that is quite innocent at its core and then building it up to be something else and then kind of stripping back on all of that innocence to give you something really heavy, albeit quite melodic. Fantastic storytellers, and I don't just mean with the video, of course, I mean with the music itself. It started out really nice, almost those keys almost sounded like bell-like. There was an innocence to them. There was a nice harmony that came in, I think, there, but behind that there's this cool choir kind of synth effect that was building all of a sudden into that really nice guitar riff, solid drum beat there, everything accenting, and then more of a synth vibe behind it. What I liked mostly about that riff and the drums is if you listen to some of the actual changes of those chords and some of the palm muting pieces. Shout out Palm Mute Gang, hit me with those palms and those mutes in the chat. Really like how the kick accent two of those exchanges, and you'll hear it, so I'll try and point them out, but really nice kind of delicate touch to let you know that, or reinforce the melody of what the guitar is doing, and I think that's very, very important. I'm glad to see just at the end there, we're going to see some live, or at least mock live performance with this. I like to see them performing along with the story they want to tell. So that's very cool. Let's cue it up again. Okay, that's a really nice place to pause and point something out. First impressions, awesome vocal take. Clearly a great singer. And I think the only other song I've looked at from Annette is Scaretale. So we clearly have some work to do. And I'm actually also keen to start looking at songs I've already looked at, but with other vocal takes. Maybe not to compare the vocals at all in any capacity. I think they were all special and individual in their own right. But maybe just to see if there was a different atmosphere around the song. I think that might be nice, and a couple of you have mentioned that. Now, really nice vocal take on this. Definitely more of a pop-sounding vocal, but I'm not mad at it because it's a nice contrast with the heaviness behind that palm muting, working really hard for us there to kind of provide a canvas or melody for it to sing on top of. And I went back because it seems like there's a second cycle in this verse, and you can hear her bring a harmony into that. And it's almost this like vocal nod to say that we're restarting a phrasing. So many times we see it with music, but not as much with vocal. And I like. Ah, okay. Yeah, I'll leave it here and go forward. This is so cool. I mentioned she has a more, at least in this song, and again, please, I have limited experience with Annette, so I'm going off what I know and what I'm hearing right now. Definitely a more pop-inspired vocal, but a great one. That is a fantastic chorus. That is a killer chorus. And she's doing some really nice step-up harmonies on that. She's going, providing a higher layer to the traditional vocal that you're hearing in the middle, the kind of mainline vocal, if you will. And she's doing a fantastic job of that. It's really busy as well. There are some nice pieces where it feels like there's a line that flows just underneath the end of another. Makes you wonder how they would do that live. There's a couple ways you can do that. The one is you just cut the sentence short and then you start the next one, and that is traditionally what people would do. There are things you can do with samples and tracks that can be played in the background that are pre-recorded, but and there's no right or wrong. I think all of them add different kinds of value, and I just think that was a really powerful chorus. I'm impressed. Listen to that. So you're going to hear the palm muting open up. I'm going to say palm muting so much, but that's not me. That's Impu, the king. You're going to hear him open up, and he does almost like a slight bend on it. And it goes from being this nice melodic, almost hard rock piece, if you will, to a bit more metal. That's where it adds in some of that ominous nature to the guitar work. And it's a small little piece to kind of just give a slight nod to the song being a little bit heavier than maybe what it seems on the surface, and I think it's really cool. And there are pieces that are a bit darker. We're only a minute 34 in. I'm very excited to see what they do with the structure. So far, very traditional, but again, there's nothing wrong with that, especially if this is a music video. It means that it was probably a hit of theirs, and it means it was probably something that was going to be played on radio. And then there are certain structures and lengths of songs that you try and follow to fit into some of those guidelines. Very different now with the digital age. You can do what you want, but it used to be the case. And this is very, very cool so far. Get in. Hang on. We're going back to at the end of this is a double chorus, right? And that's normally what you're going to see. You're going to see a double chorus. You would traditionally see a bit of a bridge, potentially goes back into a double chorus again. Depends how they structure this, if they want a solo in it, and then might have an outro. But what I really like about this, listen to the end of the first chorus phrasing where you hear her do a really nice high harmony on top of that. It's really high. It's difficult, and she's crushing it. And then after that, you're going to hear some of those keys that have that bell effect on, that innocence. Reminds me of Christmas for some reason. That may just be the time of the year and my mind telling me that. But just have a listen out for that, because they weren't there in the beginning of the first chorus, but they are in the second. And it's an evolution of it. It's adding more and providing a new point of value in something that you've heard before. It's a care for the listener, not so much for the music. And that just shows you what kind of musicians they are. Get in! halftime. Hang on a second. Yeah, let's go back. Why not? Listen, I got nothing better to do. This is cool, man. I spoke earlier about them having these slight nods to the song being a little heavier than it seems on the surface, and it couldn't have been better timing for that. I'll go back one more, because they go into this bridge piece, which is essentially just this sick, heavy, simple but heavy riff, bass lining up really nicely with the guitar. And when I say simple, I mean ultra simple, purposefully so, because they want it to stand out as really just grinding. He's got such a nice, it feels like such a simple drive or distortion on there. When I say simple, it doesn't sound like it's been modulated too much. It feels like it's coming from, an amp and a pedal. And I like it a lot. I think it's really cool. I love when they went into that halftime piece with the drums. It just felt even heavier. And you've got her really innocent and delicate vocals on top. The contrast is fantastic. The band is fantastic. We know this already. Let's go again. That's so beautiful. Hang on, what's that? Okay. I don't know the lyrics. I don't like putting the lyrics up because it's distracting for me if I'm trying to really listen to the music and give you some value there. But there is a choir effect, and it's really well done, because what they're doing is there's layers to her vocals. There's the harmony, there's potentially an amplification of it behind, there's the main vocal, and then there's this choir synth effect that's kind of drifting. It feels like it's coming from left to right, but it really isn't. It's just sitting a bit further back, and I'm not sure about the panning on it, but it is nice, and it comes up in a nice wave and it disappears again. It's beautiful, and if your ear can find it, it's such a nice experience, because it shows you the depth of the song, quite literally the depth of the song, and it is fantastic. Also, killer chorus. I'm not mad at all. Get in, Nightwish. Come on. Cool video, man. Cool video. Just good story. I will go and read the lyrics, and that's the kind of song that I could easily... I find that easy listening. And although when I listen to music, not for a reaction purpose, it's a very different kind of listening. I try my best to switch off everything else and just listen as a fan. And that's easier to do with songs that I've heard loads and loads and loads of times before. I am finding it much more difficult. The whole reaction game has really made me... it's probably the only negative. Well, one of the negatives is that I am struggling to listen to music without trying to find things. I'm having trouble switching it off. Which doesn't make it less enjoyable for me. It just makes it exhausting. So a small price to pay to have such a wonderful experience and share that with you all. Fantastic song. Honestly, genuinely surprised by that, because Scare Tale was something that was more of a theater piece. It didn't really show off a lot of vocal range or talent. It was more just a fun themed song. And this was a real, genuine almost commercial metal song. And I am a big fan of that. I really enjoyed it. There was a lot in there to keep it true to the Nightwish sound. There was a lot in there that I haven't heard before in terms of their approach to lighter melodies. I like it a lot, and I'm very, very keen for more. Nightwish are one of the best discoveries of the year for me by far. And sharing these experiences with you, it's actually a little bit emotional, to be honest. Sharing these experiences with you is beyond great. It's stuff you'll never forget. Great band, great community, loads and loads and loads of awesome songs, and many more to come. You know, every time I head to another weekend and I think, what am I going to record? I seem to be bombarded with these fantastic songs that are so highly requested that we've just got so many to go through. So looking forward to going to the next one. Until then, please be safe, be nice to each other, and have a damn good day.